thinking about, you know, John and Kate plus 8. You're making a choice to think about that. Every moment of your life that you think about Jessica Alba, or you think about, you know, the quality of Justin Timberlake's romantic relationships or anything like that, you're making that choice. And every moment that you think about astrophysics, you're choosing to think about astrophysics. Every single moment of your life, although it often does not feel this way, you are choosing where you focus your attention. And what you choose to focus your attention on is extremely important because you're going to die. And not only are you going to die, everyone you know and love is going to die, and all of their descendants will die, and there will come a time when there are no human beings to remember that any of us ever did anything. And so any attempt, any idea that you have in your mind that you're going to live your life for some posterity, for some eternality, for some that somehow something that you're going to do in your life will result in your immortality, is wrongly based on the idea that the sun is not going to explode. That's very, very important, because a lot of the way that I think we orient our lives is toward this idea of leaving a legacy, or making a sacrifice, or doing something that will result in our being remembered forever. As if the idea of forever is not extremely problematic. Like, whenever we think about that stuff, we never think about how incredibly problematic the idea of forever is. And so that's that's the first thing that I want to say as background. So Gus gives Hazel this video game novelization that she actually turns out to like. It's pretty good video game novelization as video game novelizations go. You know, it's about this guy, Staff Sergeant Max Mayhem, who's always going to war and making wonderful sacrifices on behalf of his team, but then, of course, at the end, he miraculously survives anyway. And that, I mean, first-person shooter video games are in many ways like the contemporary epics of our culture. So, where the Greeks had the Odyssey, and where you know, where Shakespearean age had Romeo and Juliet, our epic, tragic, you know, story is the story of the guy who goes to war and has to make terrible sacrifices in order to save his buddies and or his country. And so when we indulge that fantasy, which I think, by the way, is like totally healthy, and I don't have a problem with it, and I play first-person shooter games, we are buying into a very specific idea of what constitutes heroism and what constitutes like a well-lived life. That the best thing that you can do in this world is a grand, romantic gesture, even if it kills you, that it's worth it to do this big, huge romantic gesture. And our epics have always